All right, folks, welcome to Nino's Corner.tv Entertainment Edition. Celebrities are now more polarized and divided than ever. I mean, we are looking at a very polarized Hollywood. A lot of people can't find it in their heart to vote for Biden anymore. A lot of celebrities don't want to vote for either one. I'm with my guest again, or co-host, I should say, 𝗬𝗠cie𝗂𝗶𝗹. Perez, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, David. I noticed that you are representing Texas, and I'm representing Puerto Ricans, here in New York. And a big shout out to the Bronx Puerto Rican who ignited the Patriot fire in such a way that the liberal media cannot, they can't hide. I think that it sort of gave them extra motivation to look into who their celebrities are to come up next to try to get into this culture war. And I don't know if it's working, I don't know if it's working. I think that the getting grounded in 2020, a lot of Americans refocused and reshifted their priorities. And they're like, why have we been venerating these celebrities? They're not even giving us great advice half the time.
You know, what I'm seeing right now, I have my opinion on where this is going. I don't even think it matters who endorses who at this point. My audience that watches my shows every mornings, watches Nino's Corners.tv, Nino's Corner.tv, pretty much understand the direction this is going. There's massive panic amongst the left, amongst the celebrities. They know, look, folks, they're in trouble. That's really the bottom line here. Polarized or not, I don't care. I don't even care. I'm going to talk about this today with 𝗬𝗠cie𝗂𝗏 because I think it is, I may not care about it, but it's still important to see where society is during this monumental time, this incredible historic time going into November. I think there's going to be a lot of shenanigans played as we go closer to November. I think they're going to pull a lot of tricks out of their sleeve. But let's just see. Let's just talk about where celebrities are at with all this. And I'm going to share this first. And 𝗬𝗠cie𝗂𝗏, I want to give you props on this. You sent me all these articles and videos. So 𝗬𝗠cie𝗂𝗏 really put it together. It's my fault if I'm disorganized here, folks. It's not hers. This here first is Robert De Niro stars in scorching campaign ad attacking job. We all know Robert De Niro, what side of the fence he's on. We all know. And he looks very, very worried, to the point now where he's so worried he needs to come out, go to the courthouse, and make these campaign ads. Right, 𝗬𝗠cie𝗂𝗏?
Right. It's really interesting. I didn't realize that we'd be seeing so much of De Niro in this phase of his life in this way.
The tough guy, right? The tough guy that plays in all the gangster movies. All of a sudden, he's it's almost a disgrace to me. I can't even believe he's turned into this. But what is he hiding? What kind of skeletons does this guy have in his closet? Because we all know what's going to happen once Mr. T gets back in there. It's going to be really bad for a lot of people. So to me, he's just showing his true colors.
Talking to says that end of the trial for the Trump New York case is going to coincide with this more aggressive phase of the campaign for the Biden folks, whether it is on the kinds of ads that they're going to run, the messaging, the rhetoric that we're going to hear from the campaign, including from the president himself. And we did sort of see sort of an unofficial launch of that next phase with this new scorching ad from the Biden campaign that is narrated by Robert De Niro, and it is called Snapped. Take a look.
From midnight tweets to drinking bleach to tear-gassing citizens and staging a photo op, we knew Trump was out of control when he was president. Then he lost the election and snapped. Trump wants revenge.
All right, hold on. All of this that this guy is spinning is fabricated bullshit, number one. So he's just hoping. That people are still very much asleep, right, 𝗬𝗠cie𝗂𝗏? I mean, look what the whole narrative he's spinning here. Stuff that my audience, most people know is bullshit.
It's backfiring, and this is why we're highlighting it.
And he'll stop at nothing to get it.
And, the campaign is
cut it there.
Yeah.
And if you want to show Trump's response in the courtroom, I did a little reel. He got MAGA'd. Which is something that Trump said. And that was because, one of the points and one of the things that I find that's really important in this time of day is, you know, a small group of people who are dedicated can create change. And so this is a small example featuring some of the artists in New York.
Yeah, I mean, this is getting hot, man. This is getting to the point where, I mean, I can't even believe the time we're living in. I mean, it's so polarized right now. It's so cut and dry, black and white. I mean, I can't even believe the time we're living in. Let's watch Trump right now.
And then they have a protest of Robert De Niro yesterday. He's a fool. He's a broken down fool standing out there. He got maggot.
You're a sausage! You're nobody! You're trash! Hey, De Niro's gonna go to jail. That's why he's so worried. When Trump goes to office, he's done. He's finished.
Wow, they know. See, I love this. I love when people know what's coming. They can't be fooled.
His career's already done, and it's gonna be even more done. We're outside. De Niro's a loser. That's why he's running away like a punk. Like a punk.
Robert De Niro, who, you know, I appreciate him as an actor, but as an activist, super thumbs down. What are your thoughts?
Appreciated. Come on, I'm an Italian boy from Staten Island, Casino, Goodfellas, The Godfather. But for him to come out and be used by the Biden administration for obvious reasons, maybe he's on some kind of list that this guy had this island and he's crapping his pants and he knows that Donald Trump is going to take him down and everybody else on that list. And for him to come out and call us, you know, undemocratic, we're not, you know, we're enemies of democracy. You know, this travesty is an enemy of democracy. The judicial system is being humiliated by these.
Wow, good job, Rosangel. Way to represent. Way to represent.
And I don't know if you're familiar with 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗹. He is been an activist for, I believe, for over 20 years, and it's through art that he does activism. And he was crazy. Every time that he can troll them, he does. And one of the ways that he trolled, like Alvin Bragg and the judge, for example, he pulled up a U-Haul truck and he released all these balloons in the shape of the phallic symbol that I will not mention. And each balloon had the variety of faces of all of these floating.
That was the guy that you were talking to?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes,
wow.
yes. And he was standing next to a painting that he had of Donald Trump knocking out De Niro, and he called it Crybaby.
I wish I could
selling
get that painting.
Postcards, I believe.
Wow, I wish I could get that painting. That's so cool. Here we go. Let's watch this.
Is to stay in until he drops dead.
I don't understand why people are not taking him seriously.
He was vicious to her.
He's vicious.
Look how nervous these people are. That's what I'm looking at. Look at the panic.
I just want to just mention real quick. This is a meme video taken out with real footage. So then this person, Damon, who inserts himself into the View and does like a retake of what he would say if he had been at the table with the ladies. So this is why I wanted to give you a fresh take and sort of like entertainment of how we can, as a community, you know, wake up the masses.
Why will he not do that in this country? Yeah. It's what he wants, what he envisions the world to be, which is chaos and craziness, total craziness.
Well, Robert, Whoopi, I'm not sure if you ever listen to yourselves, because you're sitting here trying to persuade the public that you can read Trump's inner thoughts while you ignore the results of his actions, which included a better economy, lower taxes, and 4 years of peace around the world, all of which are gone under the current president. So I would say the total craziness that you're talking about is taking political.
This is brilliant. This is actually very brilliant.
Advice from a panel of mentally ill hosts and a washed up Hollywood actor who have no idea what they're talking about.
That's incredible, man. That is incredible.
Yeah, this is just ways to illustrate to the community that people are waking up and they're finding ways to make lemonade out of lemons, because a lot of us are really censored. Like everybody knows, you're very censored.
Yeah.
You should be in the millions right now with your subscribers. So you're doing something right, and I hope that you get vindicated for it.
It's tough, man. I know that I've been throttled down big time, but I think everything's just breaking at the seams. I don't think this can be a lid could be put on this much longer, because it's already happening. If you're paying attention, it's happening. I mean, everything we're looking at here with DeNiro, and I'm gonna go right now. Why are they so nervous? And I'm just gonna play this clip of and let me get to it right now. This is a clip of Trump on Newsmax, actually. And I'm going to show you why they're so nervous. And then I'm also going to play a clip from Dr. Phil. But first, let's play this Newsmax here.
I said, wouldn't it really be bad, and I said, wouldn't it really be bad, with like, as an example, Hillary, with the hammering of her cell phones and all of the things she did. But wouldn't it be terrible to throw the president's wife and the former Secretary of State? Think of it, the former Secretary of State, but the president's wife into jail. Wouldn't that be a terrible thing? But they want to do it. So it's a terrible path that they're leading us to, and it's very possible that it's going to have to happen to them.
Boom, there it is. Boom, there it is. This is what they're terrified of. That right there. Little drops, little nuggets here and there. He's letting people know what's coming, folks. That to me is a huge sign. That to me is a huge sign.
I agree. It's exciting. I mean, we did go spend some time by the courthouse, and we were there across the street from Trump Tower the day that he gave his press conference from inside the atrium. And the press, of course, lied about how many people were there. My sister and I'll give you this one little nugget. We did some press with fake news media, which included the Latino networks like CNN Latino and Univision and 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗶. I don't think any of them really made the air, but I will say, when you feel body language of people, especially the people who were interviewing us in Spanish, they, even though they're going through their talking points, but aren't you upset that he got convicted, and kept bringing it back to that, it felt to me, body language, that they wanted us to talk about America first, about the problems that were happening with the migrants. I mean, and you can tell that they are obviously doing their job. I'm not at all advocating on their behalf. But what I'm saying is, this is the way we start breaking down the system. When you have people who are an empathetic ear, like if you see CNN, they're not hiding from certain things anymore. You just can't. It's so bad for Biden.
I agree with you. I'm going to play right now another thing that's very telling, and it's Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil actually like almost pleading with Trump to not have revenge. And this to me is huge.
I think you have so much to do, you don't have time to get even. You only have time to get right.
You don't have time to get even. You only have time to get right. Now, pay attention to what he said. With everything going on, you don't have time to get even. You only have time to get right.
Well, revenge does take time. I will say that.
It does.
And sometimes revenge can be justified, Phil. I have to be honest. Sometimes it can.
I think
that's another hint of what's coming.
That was a great clip. But listen, I don't understand. Like, for example, the ladies in The View, when are they going to learn their lesson? And a little disclosure, one time I did have an interview with someone who produced for those entities. And the conversation led to DEI stuff and what would it be like if I'm there? Like, and I started to realize that they get a lot of push from the producers for their talking points. And I think that maybe sometimes you can tell, because you couldn't even see how some of the View co-hosts are uncomfortable with some of the crap that they pull. Although I don't know about this one that we're going to show. This is a Rubin report take because it was a great little summary of it. But just see especially the beginning.
Yeah, they're like these women. They went from my opinion, like chicken heads to like vultures that just want to scavenge and eat at anybody who has a different outlook or view on their program. It's unbelievable, like hyenas and vultures.
To say this, if we don't feel comfortable saying.
I want to show you a clip of Charlamagne the God. I just call him Lenny. I don't know what his last name is, but I can't call this guy Charlamagne the God with straight face, but he's very influential. He went on The View. He hates Trump.
So Charlamagne hates Trump, is that right?
Okay, this is the bochinche that we're able to sort of dissect a little bit. So he obviously is one of those celebrities that have Biden remorse. And so he's not outwardly endorsing. He's getting a lot of flack from the media for like the View clip that you're about to see. They don't like that he's not outwardly saying I'm endorsing Biden, but he talks a lot of crap about Trump. In other interviews, he says he's not interested in being a mouthpiece and encouraging people to vote. But then in the same token, he says he's going to vote, but he says he's not going to vote for Trump. It's like a conversation in circles.
So it's almost like he's like so torn and so ashamed. It's like he's changed his mind, but he's ashamed of it. And he's coming to the realization that he is going to vote for Mr. T, right?
But listen to the struggle session as it pertains to whether he will vote for Biden or not.
Why not endorse Biden?
Because if I'm sitting here telling my listeners that, you know, you have somebody out there who is a threat to democracy, you have somebody out there who said they want to, you know, suspend the Constitution to overthrow the results of an election. You saw this person, you know, try to lead an attempted coup of this country. And I'm telling people that this guy is a threat to democracy. Have you ever read Project 25? There's only 2 candidates out there. So if I'm saying that about this individual, the choice is clear, right? And I've seen y'all do this on The View before. Why do y'all need us to say this if we don't feel comfortable saying it?
No, it's not that we need you to say it, but I think other folks need to hear because, you know.
Rosangel, they are trying so hard to convince who they can. They know they're in trouble. Anybody who's been on that island or anybody who's been involved with Diddy or other people, man, they know what's coming for them. That's what this is right here. This is sheer panic, Rosangel.
Yeah, it feels like, I mean, my sister and I, you know, we have these conversations all the time, and we used to work at VH1 MTV, right? So we're like dumbfounded. We've never seen so much celebrity pressure like lately, and then I don't think it's working. It's definitely backfiring. So continue to do it. Celebrities continue to do it.
You were talking about it being a bully machine, right?
It feels like it. I mean, I believe that Dave Rubin coined it the best, a struggle session. You know, if we think back in recent media history, without me going into the different topics, because it would be changing the topic, there's a couple of people who have said things out of bounds and then all of a sudden they're struggle sessioning with people in the media who are trying to convince them to retract, to apologize, to say things a certain way. And I have to say, yeah, you know, I've criticized Charlamagne probably more in private than in public, but you have to give kudos. I do admire that he's finding the courage to sort of speak up against the bully machine, but it's not lost on me of when he's choosing to do it, right? When he's choosing to speak up against certain things.
This is crazy. I can't even keep up with what's going on and all this. I mean, it is so polarized. It is so just divided, you know, and we're finally there. We all knew this was coming, but let's take this clip here. Explain this clip to me, Rosangel. This is he's saying here one thing that Trump did that I believe is a good thing is I can't say that word, the language of politics. This comes after the View host failed to get him to endorse Biden. So they were trying really hard to get him to endorse Biden, right?
It didn't work.
Let's see what he
because he sort of says things like this, people are like, oh my God, is he voting for Trump? And you know, you get the bully machine.
So these people carry so much weight, and that's why Taylor Swift is so important. They're, that's why she's going to be pulling in so many Democratic voters. These influencers slash celebrities, they carry a lot of weight, and each camp is trying to get each of these personalities into their campaign, into their camp, right?
Yeah, I mean, is it working? I mean, it seems like it's working for Trump, even though I would say that I wish they would support more of the independent artists, because this is a time where we can do that. It's We the People movement, and this is what we've been saying, boots on the ground, that what's happening here is bigger than Trump. Yes, we need that man in office, but we also need We the People.
Right.
Yeah, I think that, one thing that Donald Trump did that I believe is a good thing is, he killed the language of politics. Like, the language of politics is dead. So, if you had these politicians who actually sat down, with everyday working class people and had conversations with everyday working class people, I mean, that's what I get to do.
So this guy is saying he's going to back Donald Trump here. Let me try this. Let me start this over again.
Yeah, I think that, one thing that Donald Trump did that I believe is a good thing is, he killed the language of politics. Like, the language of politics is dead. So, if you had these politicians who actually sat down, with everyday working class people and had conversations with everyday working class people, I mean, that's what I get to do every morning on the Breakfast Club.
So this is kind of like,
that's why he's confusing people, and that's why the left-wing media is going after him, because when they see quotes like this from him, they're like, oh, wait a minute, you sound like a Trump supporter. He sounds like somebody who's using critical thinking analysis, and he's showcasing his independent thought. Thank God. We need to see more than that. And we are seeing statistics that prove that Black Americans, in particular men, are leaving the Democratic plantation, and they're moving towards conservative, Republican, independent. And I mean, now we're seeing the latest bochinche with 50 Cent. I don't know, like, I guess he went to the White House the other day, and yeah, is this the scene? Yeah, he went to the Trump house. He went to the White House the other day. I said Trump house. Was that a Freudian slip?
Well, it says here that, 50 Cent says black men are identifying with Trump over Biden. Yeah, because I think the biggest campaign boost ever was getting the indictments and convicted on 34 counts. I think that really won him the election. I mean, if we go that way, but I'm going to go ahead and play this.
50 have to say?
Well, 50 or 50, depending on how you refer to him. I mean, look, he was up here for a specific reason. He was accompanied by civil rights attorney Ben Crump, and he really wanted to advocate for generational wealth when it comes to African Americans in particular. He has a number of companies, including one that involves spirits, and so he wants to see an increase in minority representation. He felt that he didn't get a fair shake when he first started his business, and wants to expand opportunities again for people of color. So that was the nature of his visit. But in that context, I did ask.
But 50 Cent openly is endorsing Trump, correct?
Okay, so I've been researching that, and the way the media is spinning it, again, it looks like it. I think the media is hungry to get an endorsement out of him. Everything that he's indicated, like taking pictures with Lauren Boebert, and even though he says I was taking pictures with everybody, I get it. But if I'm not mistaken, he posted a picture with Lauren on his page. So I believe that he is leaning Trump. I don't know if he has publicly made that endorsement, but he's getting heat like he has made an endorsement. And the most amazing clip was one that I thought was old news, but I realized it's recent, and it's with Chelsea Handler, quote unquote Handler, right? Interesting.
Yeah.
Who I didn't realize was an ex-girlfriend. So much bochincha to keep tabs on.
He's an ex-girlfriend at 50?
Yes. So the clip there, that's also on X. I would recommend you play the whole thing, because it gets cringier as we end.
Oh.
You heard about my ex-boyfriend, right? 50 Cent, and his support of Donald Trump.
I had no idea she dated 50 Cent. I just can't. She's dated everybody. I think everybody's had their turn, but let's see. I don't know. Chelsea Hamlin says that 50 Cent can't vote for Mr. T because he's a black person, and she had to remind him of that fact. Oh my God.
Yeah, what's going on between you? I saw your tweets and I go, wait, what's happening? Because you said he was your favorite ex-boyfriend, and then what does he do? He's supporting Trump?
He says he doesn't want to pay 62% of taxes, which, by the way, isn't a plan of Joe Biden's. That's a lie. So he doesn't want to pay 62% of taxes because he doesn't want to go from being 50 cent to 20 cent. And I had to remind him that he was a black person. So
are you kidding me right now? She has the audacity to say this. The audacity.
No, and then the whole 50-20 cent thing, I feel like that is something he said a long time ago. But it gets even cringier. And again, I don't know exactly when she made this quote. Oh, it's old, but it's resurfaced.
Trump, and that he shouldn't be influencing an entire swath of people who may listen to him because he's worried about his own personal pocketbook. So I haven't heard back from him yet, but I am willing to, seal the deal in more ways than one if he changes his mind and publicly denounces Donald Trump. I might be willing to go for another spin, if you know what I'm talking about.
Wow.
So in fairness, my initial instinct is that this is an old clip because I remember the 50-20 thing, but it's coming up again. If you search it on Twitter, it's just like everywhere. Everybody's like either rediscovered it, but it's everywhere. And again, it shows you the mindset of what is happening, whether this is a brand new thing she said or old. What's not a lie is that 50 Cent has been publicly showing more Republican support and leaning towards Trump. And look at the media stirs to the point that people are digging things up just to, create a picture to enhance the bully machine. So I find it interesting, and I get it. Look, there's a lot of people that I speak to doing the work that we do, Nino. They're not interested in entertainment. This to me is a part of my life and was a part of my life very, very presently for so many years. But in the day-to-day, We the People movement, people are thinking about, hey, I just went to the supermarket. I could barely afford eggs. I could barely afford the milk. Like, what's going on here? And we the people, the common folk, they don't really care about celebrity culture. But then somebody like Taylor Swift, if the wrong person talks about her in a bad way, like the Swifties come after you. And that's a real thing. Like, there's a real propaganda machine that comes with this that people may or may not believe, or they think that it's like, por encimita, like just on the surface, it really doesn't mean anything. I don't care about celebrity culture, but there's a gang happening right in front of our eyes, and we sort of need to examine all of the pieces.
Yeah, it is a bully machine, right? And then that's what you wanted to name this podcast, but I think that's exactly what it is, and that I cannot stand. I'm gonna play this John Legend right now. He makes a great point. You told me to play this. This is obviously a leftist. That John Legend makes a great point about celebrity endorsements. They're leaning left with this, correct?
Yeah, I mean, if you read the whole thing, like, you could just kind of it tells you, but it also just to prove a point that we here are trying to present, not a fair like, we're trying to show you what mainstream is looking at, because we the people need to connect with our fellow man and woman, whether or not you like it. They're our neighbors, right? More information sometimes is better.
Right.
Sorry, I should have mentioned that.
Humble about what we know and what we don't know, and I think fans and audiences should be careful about wanting us to weigh in on everything, because honestly, like, no.
Well, and it's like the efficacy of celebrities weighing on everything.
The efficacy one, but also like the depth and the breadth.
Isn't this guy married to 𝗀𝗃 Teigen?
Yes.
I've heard she's in a lot of trouble. So this is interesting.
Interesting.
Understanding necessary to contribute meaningfully to the conversation,
right,
is actually like just not there for most artists. And you can't really blame them. This is not what they do every day,
Right.
Like, they're musicians, they're actors, they're in the public eye, and you want them to use that platform for good, but also you want them to do it with a sense of understanding and knowledge and wisdom and connection to activists and organizers and experts. And everybody's just not able to do that. And so I think we all as fans should be careful what we ask them to do, because you might not.
You know, this is interesting to me because is he giving a boost to Trump, or I mean, this is kind of like an endorsement for Mr. T, if you ask me, in a backhanded kind of way, in a kind of a way that he's stepping out of it. Is my name's Paul, but this is between you all type of situation, right?
Listen, I don't know. Like,
I mean, he's not diehard Biden. He's not going in.
Right. There, it's very interesting, the messaging and how messages can come, the most, brilliant messages can come from unexpected places, because I didn't expect to hear or read this quote from John Legend. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that Pod Save America is a, I'm sorry. I just feel like our audio is being messed with.
Get what you're wanting out of that conversation and engagement.
It's getting interesting. It's getting hot, man. Hollywood's getting hot. It's so polarized. Like I said, I mean, people know my views on this, where this is headed. It's going to get really wonky and get wonky fast. But America is divided. America is polarized. We're seeing that. And I like to put a magnifying glass on Hollywood, because they're a byfactor of all this. They're a byproduct of all this. And they're really trying to control the day. They're really trying to control the trends. And if you have all of them breaking up within, they can't really control anything. They're broken up. They're divided as well. So this is
divided. And the media machine, the independent media machine and supporters of Trump, they're really united, and you see how they respond. And yeah,
the fact that video I played with DeNiro, that guy saying this guy's in trouble, he's a washed up, he knew where this is going. People know.
And he's a Christian artist, right? 𝗵𝗶𝗱𝗃 is a Christian artist. I coming from MTV, I really do like his technique and his style. And the last video I included is a little snippet of him singing a song I think he released in 2020 called "It's Fake News," because it has become our anthem at the rallies in New York. And since we've been doing all this protesting, and 2020 has united a whole bunch of different groups, obviously not all politically minded, more so against, we the people, for we the people, against the Nuremberg stuff that was happening to us.
Right.
But there, how when people say that you can feel God,
yes,
in certain places,
absolutely.
There have been many times in the protests that we have, or the rallies that my sister and I have covered as Cafecito Break, we have felt the presence of God. Like, here you are, a collective of human beings. We don't hang out with each other, really. We don't go to dinners. I mean, a few of us have become like brothers and sisters now, but as a whole, you're with all these people, but then there's this common resonance. And so the last little video that I included is highlighting 𝗵𝗶𝗱 7.0. And if you see like people like who don't know, and they just have a criticizing heart, they're like, oh my God, look at how weird this looks, and look at the backup dances. But my point is, look at the family, look at how patriots come together, and you see a diversity of people and colors, and we're just happy to be together. Like, when my sister and I reflect about going to the Trump rally in the Bronx, it's not just we wanted to support Trump. We were excited to see our brothers and sisters who are fighting in this fight for freedom.
Is it the Cafecito It's Fake News?
Yes.
Okay, so I was making sure I got the right one. This is let me share this right now. So you're noticing a huge turn in the tide in the New York area, the Bronx.
In the Bronx, yes, and it's been led by a small group of people.
So is this the right video?
Yes, and before you press play, that man right there, David Rem, if you ever seen videos of AOC getting heckled, he's the man.
He's the guy, huh? All right. Let's play this video.
They hate me, they hate you. I know that sounds strong, but I promise it's so true. They hate the country too, no matter what we do. Christians how we started, and they really hate that too. They hate the truth, they hate the Jews. But best of those who bless them, that's a promise they can't lose. So it's up to me, and it's up to you to use critical thinking when discerning the fake news. It's fake.
I like the white guy next to him trying to go along with it.
Yeah, yeah. It's like we
Let's
all
go back to
create-
that for a second. I'm sorry, I'll pause it if I.
They hate that too. They hate the truth. They hate the Jews. But best of those who bless them, that's a promise they can't lose. So it's up to me, and it's up to you to use critical.
That guy right there. He has no idea what he's saying. Go on. Go
Yeah,
back.
that's a woman.
Oh, that's a woman? Well, also the guy behind him. Look at the guy
Oh, yeah,
behind
the dude in the back. Yeah, I forgot.
this guy right here. Oh boy.
It's up to me, and it's up to you to use critical thinking when discerning the fake news. It's fake news. It's fake news. Most of what they tell is fabricated. It's fake news. It's fake news. It's fake news. Pushing this information when they know that it's fake news. It's fake news. It's fake news. They label us what they are themselves. Believe me, it's fake news. It's fake news. It's fake news. It's fake news.
That's the guy. That's an artist right there.
Yes, that's the one that called out Robert De Niro.
Ooh.
And he has so much music, so much content. DVS 7.0. I don't know. Oh, he's right there. I do not know how he hasn't blown up. And I think it has to do with the fact that he's Latino in New York, Christian, and for Trump. You're
Right.
just breaking too many narratives because you know that the Democratic machine and a lot of the churches are working together, right? So it's just interesting.
But it's coming to an end. People need to realize this. This is breaking. This is busting out.
Fake news.
If you don't
Yeah, I mean, the video is pretty much over.
read it, you're misinformed.
And, I just wanted this is the way they do it. They bring their boom boxes and they will blast out blocks and irritate the liberal demons in New York. And we're having fun. If you ever come to New York, you can hang out with the freedom crowd. They would love you.
I'm in. So, folks, celebrities divided, polarized Hollywood. You decide. Leave a comment down below. You can follow 𝗀𝗪𝗀 at where? 𝗀𝗪𝗶𝗀𝗪 where?
Cafecito Break. And on social media platform, Twitter, Instagram is 10.0. And YouTube doesn't like me. YouTube just doesn't like me. You know that you see,
so I already know.
you see the subscriber count go backwards.
Yeah, I know. It's just what it is. We're all dealing with it. You're not the only one. Just know that I'm dealing with it. I'm throttled big time. So, folks, give her a follow, subscribe to her channel. Celebrities divided at Polarized Hollywood, and the bully machine is out, folks. What's going to happen? Where is this going? This is so entertaining to watch. All right, folks. I'll see you next time. Thank you, 𝗀𝗪𝗀𝗀. I'll see you on the next one next week.
See you next time. Bye, guys.